welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for always coming to watch my video. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And if this is your first time coming to my video, please subscribe and do not forget to hit the notification bell so that you can get notified whenever I upload a new video. And please share and like my video. So I want to say once again, welcome to my YouTube channel. God bless you. So let's go into today's business. Today's business is about how to draft the shoulder dart bustier. So yeah, let's go. This, you'll be needing your scissors, your ruler, tape rule, and your pattern paper. So do not forget, if you notice that I've been doing pattern drafting on my page recently, yes, I would like to teach us how to draft. So whenever I want to sew, I will just place my pattern on the fabric and then cut. Then the next thing I'll show you is how to join them together to form your beautiful style. So let's go deep into how to draft it. Once we know how to draft it perfectly fine, it's no big deal anymore. You just place it on your fabric and then you start sewing. So once you get this right, you are getting sewing. So let's go into today's business. So the measurements you would need for the purpose of this tutorial is your half length measurement, the shoulder measurement, your round armhole measurement, the bust measurement, your breast point measurement on the bust, and as I've said, your half length, that is your waist measurement. Do not forget your waist, the tiniest part of your waist. That is what we are using here. So yeah, I would like us to pay attention. It's very, very simple. This is the most simplest thing. So I would mark a straight line here, which is going to serve as my starting point. Let me adjust my table so that which will serve as my starting point. Or let me change my marker. I think the blue will be so. I think this one is good. This will serve as my starting point because of this edge is not straight. So yeah, the length I'm working with, the half length, that the waist measurement I'm working with is 17. 17. I will then mark my 17 here. 17, and you have to, and I would include my joining allowance, because I'll be joining it to the skirt part. So I will include half an inch. So I'll mark 17 and a half. You can actually use 1 inch, it depends. So it's just an allowance you use to join it to the down part. So I will mark 17 and a half. Then I will then mark a straight line. Yeah. So yes. So you can see that is the half length here, and this is my starting point. So this will serve as my shoulder line. I will declare this is my shoulder line, as you can see. Then the next thing is I will place, I said it is shoulder dart bustier. So I will place my shoulder measurement. As I've said in our last tutorial, my shoulder measurement is 16 divided by 2 is 8. So for the purpose of, I will be using 8 inches at this part. 8 inches at this part. You can see 8 inches. So I would include the 8 inches. Then after that, I will come here to the leg line. I will use 3 by 3, 3 inches here, then 3 inches depth. That's for the front neckline. I hope you can see it. 3 inches, 3 inches for the neck. Then I will then connect it together. You see, after connecting it together, do not forget to always fold your fabric in two, or your pattern paper in two. Then I will then shape it here. It depends on the type of neckline you want. You can see how I shaped mine. You can see, I hope you can see very well. I'm trying to figure out to stand my camera very well, so you can see how I shaped it. Then do not forget, we are going for it's I said shoulder, it's shoulder that bustier. But don't forget, let me just take it one after the other. Then I would know this is it. Then I will come down by 1 inch here. Come down by 1 inch because our shoulder is not straight. Then I will then connect it to this point. After connecting to this point, I will come down here. I will then measure my round hammer. The round hammer I am using is 16 divided by 2. Then I'll have 8 here. Then I'll measure the 8, which will then serve as my bust line. Then I would connect it. I'll measure 8 here. I'll then connect it straight. Connect it to serve as my bust line. Then the next measurement is I will mark my breast point. This is it. Your breast point. You need your breast point measurement. After your bust is your breast point, and the breast point I'm working with here is 10.5. I'll place it at my shoulder. I'll place the tape rule at my shoulder measurement. You can see it. I'll place it this way. The mark 10. The breast point I'm using, as I've said, I'm using 11 rather. 11. I'll then mark the 11 inch here. 11 inch. Then for the under bust that I'm using for my under bust I'm using 14.5. Then I will connect the lines together. I hope we can see it. I really want to bring the camera closer. So this is it. This is the breast point. I will connect the lines. This is the breast point. Then this I will connect the under bust. Your under bust, it depends on your client. It could be 14.5, it could be 15, it could be anything. So then you see I have my lines now. So this is the under bust. You can see this is the bust, this is the breast point, and this is the under bust. You can see, and this is my waist line. So the next thing I will do here is, we've marked it. The next thing I will do here is I will come down by yeah. So the next thing I will do here, I told you that it's shoulder. It's the shoulder that's measurement. Then I will come down. I'll come here because I'll be including. Okay, let me take it one after the other. I don't want to convince you. Then I will connect my armhole here. I will connect it here. I will connect my armhole, the one I marked 8 inches to form my bust point. I will give it a straight line. Then after that, I will then come down to my pattern here. As I taught you at the last tutorial, it's your bust pan, that is from one nipple to the other, nipple to nipple. The nipple to nipple I'm using is 4. My nipple to nipple is 4. Then I'll mark 4 inches down to my waist line measurement here, and I'll mark it this way. You can see 4 inches. After that, I will then connect it together. I will connect the 4 inches together as we've done. So I'll connect. You see, I've connected the 4 inches together on a straight pattern, on a straight line rather. Then I will now come down to my bust, my waist measurement. I'm going to take 1 inches on both sides. You can take half an inch. It depends, as I've said at the lab. But for this purpose of this tutorial, I will take 1 inch on both sides. 1 inch here and 1 inch here, you see. And at the under bust part, I hope you can, at the under bust part, I will take half an inch on both parts, half an inch, half an inch. I hope you can see it. I took 1 inch on this side, 1 inch here, 1 inch here, then I took half an inch, half an inch. Then after that, I will then come, this is the breast point. This is the breast point. That is where your bust would where it will that is the breast point where your nipple, so I do not forget, I took 1 inch here, then half an inch on both sides. Please make sure that your measurement is correct too. It's very, 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 very important that you have the correct measurement so that you won't go out of line. So at this point, I will connect this line together. Yeah, I will now come back. I will come down here. I will connect it. This is it. This is my bust measurement. I will come down by 1 inch. As I taught you at the last, this is the 1 inch. This is the 1 inch. Then I will then come here, connect. I will connect my lines down there. You can even use 1 inch here. Even at this top part, you can use 1 inch. It depends on whichever one you want. You can use 1 inch. You can use half an inch, whichever one. But for me, I want to use 1 inch, half an inch. That's it. Then I will connect. Then you come down here and you connect. This is step by step. So easy. And you connect. Make sure that your connection is. Then you see me as I've done. I've connected it now. Then you see, you can, if you can see it very well, you see, as I said, you need to make sure that your connection is really, you have to connect it very well. Yeah, so you can see that I have connected it now. So the next thing I will be doing now is I will come down to my shoulder. Do not forget, it is shoulder that I'll come down to my shoulder measurement, my shoulder line here, this slanted part. Then I will now measure what it's here. I have 5 inches here. You see, I have 5 inches. So half of 5 inches will give me 2.5. I will mark 2.5. I'll mark 2.5. So at that point, I will connect that 2.5. The line I will connect it to this straight line I've marked already. I'll connect it this way. I'll connect it this way. You can see me. Yeah. So after connecting, I will come to each side. I will take half an inch here. I'll take half an inch here. Half an inch here. And at this, I'll take half an inch here. And at this part here, I will take 1/4 of an inch. I'll take 1/4 of an inch here because yes, you see, I took half an inch here. Then I'll take 1/4 of an inch at this part. You see, I took half an inch. I took half an inch on this part and 1/4 on this part. Then I will connect this half an inch at this point. The half an inch at this point. You can see, I'll connect the half an inch at this point. Then connect it to this line, to this part. See, after connecting it, I will then shape it so that it will not be pointing. You see me shaping it. I will shape it very well. Then at this point, I will connect it. I will connect half, the 1/4 of an inch down here. You see, already our shoulder dart is formed already. I hope we can see it clearly. I connected the half an inch I marked. At this slanted part, I measured what I have there, which is 5. And then I measured the center, which is 2.5. Then connect the center to the initial line I marked for the dart line. Then at the side, I measured half an inch where your bust used to, where the fullness of the bust is. So I measured, that is towards our shoulder. So towards our shoulder line, I measured half an inch, and the other part I measured 1/4. Then I connected it. So when I got to this point, I had to shape it, give it a curve shape. so that it won't be pointed. Then yes, so then the next thing is we need to then insert our measurement. So the at this shoulder part, we've taken 1/4. So we took 1/4 for the dart which we are cutting off. So you have to include it back. You see, you measure it here. The 1/4 you to it for the dart, you have to include that so that you don't have shortage of fabric. So I will then measure it, then place it here. That is what you see. Then I would connect the line. After measuring it, I will connect the line. I should have done it before drafting all this, but I really want to do it so that those that are learning for the first time, for beginners, so that they can understand. Then I will now create a new armhole line at this part. You can see that I have 2 new armhole lines because of the dart I have here. Because of that, I've taken away, so I have to include it back. So once I measure it now, you see I have 6 1/4. So when I remove the 1 1/4 here, I will then have 5, so which is the initial measurement. I will come down to my bust measurement. Measure my bust measurements is 37. 37 divided by 4. You have to divide it by 4, as I've said in our last video. That's 9 1/4. I will then I would insert the measurements. I will insert it here. At the bust point, I didn't take any dart. Then I will then add my sewing allowance, which is 2 inches. I will use 2 inches, so let me use 1 1/2. I will use 1 1/2. 1 1/2. You see. Then at my waist measurement, my waist measurement is 31 divided by 4. I will insert the measurement. After inserting the measurement, the dart you took here at the waist measurement part, which is 2 inches, it is not 1 inch. Then I'll measure it, then include my dart, which is 2 inches. Then add sewing allowance 1 1/2. Don't forget, you have to include this dart measurement. Then the next thing is I will then connect my measurement this way. So after that, after connecting my measurement, I'll come to my armhole line here. I would look for the midpoint. The midpoint is 4. I have 8 here. The midpoint is 4 at this part. When it comes to the front panel, the shoulder measurement is not the same as the one for the back. I will now come in with 1/2 an inch. You can come in with 1/4, it depends, but me, I'll come in with 1/2 an inch. At this point, I will then connect my 1/2 an inch this way I'll connect it this way. Then after connecting, I will then shape it so it meets with. You can use your curved ruler. In fact, that is even better, but because I don't have at the moment, so I can use my hand. You see. So with this, our measurements, with this we are through with our princess dart measurement. So I will cut it out now. Then you cut it out this way. You need to be careful with the way you cut it out. Then cutting it out. And you come down to this part, cut it out. So you see, so now it's time to cut out our dart. I will come then. This is the first part. I'm still cutting this. Yeah, I'm showing you how to cut it. So yeah, so I'm done with the cutting. So this is what you should have. I will then open it up now so we can all see. You see, you then have this and this. This is it. I hope you can see it now. This will be what you have. This is what you should have. This is what you should have. This is what you should have. I would be trying to see if you can see it very well. Okay, let me put it this way. Yeah, so this is what you should have. You see your 2 panel. You should have this, this, and this, and this. This is it. You see, this is it. So when you are joining, you join this way, and when you are cutting it on the fabric, we would add inches at the side because you'll be joining it together. Then you join it, you place it on each other this way, and then you join it, you bend, and then join. If you can see the way I did it this way, you join it like this. You had your stay, the hard one, or whichever you prefer, or the soft one. Then you join it at the top, tip here. So this is for the front parts. This is the front panel. So let's go to the back panel. This is the front panel. All this you are sewing, all this you are cutting your pattern. You keep it in case you have another. Like now, if I have any work to do now, any measurement, I'm only placing and I'm cutting it out, which is very, very good. Look, line measurement. It's going to serve as my waistline measurement. So the next thing you should do, because this is the back part where you are going to insert your zip. I'm going to mark 1 inch down. The next thing is you mark 1 inch down your fabric for the zipper measurement. So I would mark 1 inch down this way, 1 inch down, 1 inch, mark 1 inch. I'll come down here 1 inch. You mark it all through so that you can get your zipper, and then after marking it, I will then connect the lines together. After marking it, I'll connect the 1 inch line. I'll connect them, which is going to serve as my zipper allowance. So you see, I marked 1 inch down. You see, which serves as my zipper allowance. So this is it, 1 inch. That's my zipper allowance. So I will start my measurement at this point. I'll start my measurement from there, not this part anymore. So next thing, we are going to impute my, let me bring it closer. Next thing, I'm going to impute the shoulder measurement, which I said is 8 inches. I'll mark it 8 inches. I'll come down to my neckline. The width is 3, and for the neckline, I won't use 3. I will use 3, 1.5. You can use 1. It depends. You can use 1. Then I will connect it. I will connect my measurements. I'll connect it. Yeah. Then you see. Then shape it out. You can use your curve ruler. So then you come here, you do your shoulder slant, which is 1 inch, the way you've done today. So you then take measure. You see, I've marked my lines here so that we don't take much time, and it's just the same way we did the front part. I measured here the 8 inches, the regular 8 inches, as you can see, 8 inches. Then I've marked that line. I said that line is going to serve as our bust line. Then also I marked the breast point. The breast point I'm using 11. I told you 11. You can see 11, and the under bust is 14 and a half. You can see 14 and a half. Then your waistline. So that's all. So then I'll then come down to my waist measurement. I'll mark the bust pan. That's my nipple to nipple measurement, 4 inches. You will repeat what you did at on the front panel. You see, I'm marking it now. I'm marking the 4 inches. Then I'm connecting it together. I'm collecting it together on a straight line as you've done to this place. Then I'll come here just the same way we did at the shoulder measurement here. I have 5 here as usual. I'll mark the midpoint. This is the midpoint here. I will then connect it to that line here. So you see, I've connected it. This is it. This is the midpoint at the shoulder here. I've connected it to my 4 inches I marked here. Then after connecting it, I'll come down to my waist measurement. I will take 1 inch off. I'll take 1 inch. I told you, I said you can take 1 inch, you can take half inch. It depends on whichever you want. You can take it, but for me, I would also take 1 inch at the waistline here. I'll mark 1 inch at the waistline, 1 inch at the waistline, and at this place I'll take half inch. That is the under bust. I'll take my half inch, and usual I will connect it down to this part. We'll connect it down. Though this one does not even need, you don't need to use, because that's not weird. It's just for it to rhyme. Then I will connect it. I'll connect my lines. You see, I've connected it. So that's all. That's all for the back. You just need to shape it like this. That's all for the back. I'm just covering it a little bit. That's all for the back. You don't need, for me, some people might say you should do that, but for me, I think you don't need to put any half inch or something the way we did at the top. It's okay this way because it is the back part. So the next thing is I'm going to insert my measurement as I've done at the front, which I would be doing. I will insert my sewing allowance 1.5 inch, and at the waist too I will insert my sewing allowance, my folding allowance when cutting it out on the fabric. Then we'll place it this way, and then you stitch all along rather. Then this will be the second part for this piece. This is for your back panel. So that is all for today. So please subscribe, like and share my videos, and you are also welcome at the comment section. Please let me know your views, and if you try this, please tag me, send your work to me. I would love to see it, and that will really make me happy. Thank you so much for always coming back. I love you.